So my birthday was a few days ago, and this might be my best idea yet. I wanted cake like everyone else, but I wanted it to be high protein and gluten-free. But I also did not want to force anyone else to have to eat that, so I made a 2-layer compromise. The top layer is a gluten-free, high-protein cake just for me. No box mix, no shortcuts. I actually wanted this to taste good, and believe me, it did. For the dry ingredients, I started with 1/2 cup almond flour, 3 tablespoons oat flour, 2 tablespoons coconut flour, and 1/2 cup vegan vanilla protein powder. I also added 1/3 cup sugar. You can add any type of sweetener you want, but I wanted it to be decadent because it was my birthday, so I just added regular sugar. I also added 1 teaspoon baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon salt. I just kind of eyeballed it. I forgot to add, I also added 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder. For the wet ingredients, I used 2 large eggs, a little bit of vanilla extract, 1/3 cup oat milk, and then 1/4 cup Greek yogurt. I also added 2 tablespoons oil. If you watch my recipes, I usually blend everything into one bowl. I don't separate the dry ingredients from the wet ingredients. But in this case, I wanted it to be cake. I wanted it to be proper. I've also never made gluten-free cake from scratch. And I wanted to do the dry ingredients first and then mix in the wet ingredients. And honestly, this was the way to go. So you don't use a hand mixer or anything like that. You just mix it up by hand. It doesn't look like cake mix like the other one. It's a little thicker. I greased 2 6-inch pans. I didn't show that here, and I put them into the oven at 350 for about 25 minutes. The bottom layer of the cake was just regular cake mix. I'm not going to go into details of how to make cake box mix. Just follow the directions. They're all similar, a little bit different. So for this one, I just used the birthday cake one, and into 9-inch round pans, I greased those and I added the cake box mix. And I cooked that up according to the instructions. So this is the little gluten-free cake. It came out perfect after 25 minutes. I was a little bit worried about how it would cook, if it would fall apart. It did not. And this is the regular cake. As you see, the texture is different, but believe me, when I say this was the best gluten-free cake that I made, this was it. So here's a little trick that I use when making cakes. When you try to level off a cake, so what I'm doing here is I'm just taking the top layer that kind of bubbled up in the oven off so that the cake would be smooth and level. And then I actually save that. I don't throw it out, and stay tuned to see what I'm going to do with it. So I do that to the other side as well. Maybe I cut a little too much off of this one. But anyways, I'm just sort of leveling it so that the two cake layers would sit on top of each other evenly. And here I do a little test just to see how they best fit together, so that when I put the smaller cake on top, it is not sliding down the side. Okay, so here's the trick. So you take that cut off cake mix and you crumble it up with your hands. And then I really didn't measure, but this was probably about 2 cups of cake mix. And then I used probably about, let's say, 1/3 cup of frosting, just the regular frosting you get from the store. And you mix that in together until you get a paste. So this paste is essentially how cake pops are made. In case you never knew what was inside the cake pops, it is this. So you just mix this up together. Mix it up really well until it is a paste, and then you use it as your filling in between the 2 layers. So this helps you save the cake, like you're using all of it, and it also gives it a much richer texture. It's like having cake pops inside your cake. It is delicious. I do this when I make my kids' birthday cakes. Every year they request what cake they want, and I indulge them. And so I use that as the middle layer. And then I just went in with regular frosting, did a little crumble coat, which is the first coat you do. And then I put this into the fridge to harden while I worked on my healthy frosting. So this is the frosting for the gluten-free cake. I used 2 cups of Greek yogurt, and then I used 2 scoops of the vanilla vegan protein powder. Mix that in really well. I added a little dash of vanilla just to give it a little extra flavor. And then to thin it out, I used a little bit of oat milk. I don't know how much I used, probably a tablespoon or so. And it looks like this. It's great. So for this one, I didn't have any crumble because this cake doesn't rise like regular cake. So I just went in with that in the middle and as well coated it with this mixture as well. So I did the crumble layer with the same frosting, like with the Greek yogurt frosting, put it in the fridge for an hour or so for it to harden, and then I went in with an extra layer once the cake was constructed. So here we go, the cake is out of the fridge. It is now going in with the final layer. I'm putting in straws as dowels, is that what they're called, dowels? And then this is just to hold up the structure of the cake so it doesn't fall over. I put the gluten-free one on top. Again, go in with the last layer of frosting. Honestly, I was not fancy. I did not use my cake spinner for this or anything. I just wanted it to be an easy cake. The whole point is making a cake that fits someone who needs gluten-free and wants higher protein versus everyone else that just wants regular delicious cake. So I just went in with some fresh strawberries, a little bit of sprinkles for the pizzazz, and this is the final product. And I am telling you, it was delicious. It was not dry, it was moist. It was the best gluten-free cake I've ever made. So I highly suggest you try this. Subscribe for more mom-friendly and kid-friendly recipes that fit real life. Enjoy!